Hi guys, in our previous class we have started light chapter. In that basic concepts we understood. Okay, I hope all of you seen that video and you understood each and every term of that particular class. Okay, if you have any doubt, I told you that you have to text to me. Okay, particular that part again I'll explain one more time. Okay guys, so we'll brief it up what exactly we have seen in our previous class within a 2 minutes of time. Okay, so what is source? Okay, we understood what is source. Okay, from which the object from which we will get a light beam, that we call it as a source, right? Either it may be a luminous or luminous, non-luminous or luminous. I explained this. What is luminous? From which the light emits by its own, that calls the luminous, non-luminous. Then there are three different types of mediums is there: transparent, translucent and opaque medium. And I explained brief about ray. Okay, for how the ray will be, it is a vector quantity. Then what else we have seen? Beam. Okay, then the concept of converging and diverging and parallel rays. Okay, then we have studied about spherical mirrors, how the spherical mirrors will be formed. Okay, which is the reflecting surface, right? If it is a reflecting surface bent inwards, what we call that, we call it as a concave mirrors. If the reflecting surface is bent outward, that we call it as a convex mirror. These all you have studied, right? When you see the image into the concave mirror, how it looks. When you see the convex mirror, how the image will be. Okay, these all things I explained in my previous video. Then we studied terms related to the spherical mirrors. What are the basic very important concepts and terms we have to understand properly, then only in a further classes you have to study the ray diagrams and position of the images. That time these are very important. It will be keep on repeating. Okay, pole, center of curvature, radius of curvature, aperture, what is mean by aperture. Okay, so on those things I explained. Okay, then in a concave, where the center of curvature will be. Okay, that is the position of center of curvature I explained. One is the front side, another the back side for the convex. Then what is mean by principal axis, then focus or principal focus. What is focus or principal focus I explained. Then when it is a normal plane, okay, it is a normal plane, how will be the incident ray and how will be the reflecting ray. Okay, that I explained with respect to the normal. What is the angle of incident and what is the angle of reflection? It is always equal to one another. Okay, that I explained. Here regarding convex mirrors, here this is the reflecting, this is the pole, this is the center of curvature. Okay, this from here to here, from here to here we call it as a aperture, right? So these are the things I explained, how we will draw a normal to the to the spherical mirrors or spherical surfaces. How we have to draw the normal? When first we have to draw the tangent to that particular point. What is mean by tangent? Again here it is a line passing through the single point on a curved surface or a circle, that we call it as a tangent. Okay, then we have to draw perpendicular line to that tangent, that we call it as a normal. Okay, so these are the basic terms I explained in my previous class. Okay, now in this today's class we will see further. For a spherical mirror we have seen, for a concave mirror where will be the focus. Now we will see for a convex mirror, if it is a convex mirror, the positions. Okay, how it will be, how we will draw the convex mirror, in the sense the reflecting surface is bent outward, right? This is a polished surface, right? This is the reflecting surface. Now this is the reflecting surface. So the position of the radius of curvature, whether it is a front side or back side, it is back side. It is a back side of this reflecting surface or convex mirror. Okay, it is a back side. Now where will be the focus? the focus point or a principal focus is between pole and the center of curvature, okay, that we call it as the focus. Okay. In case of a concave mirror, what are the rays incidenting on this particular surface? It will get reflected back, right, from that particular point. If it get reflected, where it will be focused? It will be focused to the point F, that is the focus. Okay, to that point it will get focused. In case of convex mirror, the concept is little bit different. Try to understand the concept properly first. Imagine there is a ray parallel to the principal axis incidenting on this surface. Okay, a ray which is parallel to the principal axis, it is incidenting on this surface. Okay. Now what I have to do? It has to get reflected back, right? It has to get reflected back. So in order to get reflected back, how it will get reflected? It has to reflect it like this. Here with respect to angle it will get reflected, right? How we will draw that one? First we have to take a tangent to this surface passing through one point, passing through the single point, that we call it as a tangent. Then we have to draw a perpendicular line to this tangent. Usually for any circle, always that particular point, if you want to trace a normal, that has to pass through the center of curvature. Imagine center of curvature here, the normal is passing like this. Now you just extend this normal. Okay, we are extending this normal, right, like this. Clear? So whenever you want to draw, suppose if you want to draw at this point, you want to draw a perpendicular line, that is a normal line, just extend a line from this point to this and extend further, that is the normal to that particular point. Okay, keep it in mind. So this is the angle of incident, this is the angle of reflection, right, this is the incidenting ray. So here again if you take one more line this side, I will draw one more line in this side. Suppose it is incidenting on this particular point. Okay. Now here it is a normal, the normal has been extended from this point, this is the normal, we have extended this normal, it has extended, right. Then again it will get reflected back, right, the ray, incidenting ray, it will get reflected from this point, right, it has reflected like this. Now whatever the angle which is got incidented on this with respect to the normal, this is the angle of incident is equal to the angle of reflection. This is the incident, this is the reflected. Here what is happening here? The incident rays what are coming in this direction, it fall on the reflecting surface, that is the convex surface, and it is reflecting back, right. Means here the what is the concept it is taking place in this convex mirror, it is a diverging, it is not converging, it is diverging, right, because it is going away from particular point, right, it is not meeting at a point, it is not focusing to one point, it is going away. Then where the image will be formed? Even though in a convex mirror, as I told, if you going through any university, we are going, suppose we are driving in a curved road, at a corner there will be a stand and that one convex mirror will be placed here, right. So while coming we will get the images, it is covering maximum picture and we will get the image in this, right, but it is a mirror, but what the rays are falling on this surface, it is getting diverging, it is going back, right, even though the image is forming in this. How it will fall? See, you understand this one first. If you get the concepts clear here, so in further classes it is easy and we can go a little bit faster there. How it will get the image? Understand this one. Here we are, imagine that we have extended this reflected ray backward. We have extended this reflecting ray backward. So this is also extended backward. okay, it is focusing on this particular point, that we call it as the focus point. Okay, this is the place where the image of the object is visible, image of the object is visible. Clear now? Okay. Now, so you understood, in case of a concave mirror, the rays are getting converged at a point focus, there we will get a image. In case of a convex mirror, the diverging phenomenon takes place and it is appears to be focused on this particular point. Here we will get the image formation. Clear now? Okay. Now, the next important point is the focal length. For this we have to do certain calculations. That is why in previous chapter I kept pending that one for question number 6, 7. I have not shared the answers. In this chapter you will come to know what exactly. So, what is the focal length now? Focal length, it is the distance between the pole and the principal focus, that we call it as the focal length. Clear? Understood? What is the focal length? It is the distance between, pole, that is point P, and focus or principal focus, that we call it as a focal length. Okay, clear now? Okay, this is indicated by small f. There is a formula and all, we will see further. Okay, first try to understand, because these are the basic terms, you have to understand very carefully. Once you are thorough with these topics, then further we can go a little bit faster. So, you have understood now what is the exact difference between a concave mirror and a convex mirror and a plane mirror. Plane mirror, nothing, very simple. On a plane mirror, the ray is incidenting at a certain angle with respect to the normal, this is the angle of incident, so it will get reflected back. Clear? Now, this is the concave mirror, thus the converging phenomena takes place, it is focused to a particular point, that is f, principal focus. Here what is the distance between f and p, we call it as the focal length. Clear? This is very important for image formation. Okay, next we will come to know what is image formation, where exactly the image of the object will form in case of concave and convex mirror. Clear guys? We will go further now. Okay. Now, if you see the relationship between what? If you see the relationship between f and radius of curvature, this small f in the sense focal length, r is radius of curvature, okay, radius of curvature. Now, the relation is like that, the radius of curvature is always equals to 2 times of its focal length. Here, see, from point C, if you draw a line up to P, this is the radius, right? Imagine this is a circle or a sphere, it is extended, it has become like this. Then if you extend, so this is the center of curvature. If you draw a line from this C to any point, that is the radius. If you are drawing up to here, this is the radius and this is the radius. This radius of curvature is 2 times this distance from P to F and F to C, right? So, this focal length, so what we can say here, see, if it is exactly 2 times of this, we can say that this is equal to this length right now. Clear? Whatever the distance from principal to focus is there, here the same distance we will get here from F to C, right? So, the relationship between F and R, that is the focal length and the radius of curvature, is like this: R is equals to 2 times of F. R, if I want F, this is R will go this side, then what will become? It is r by 2. Okay, the 2 will go this side. Here it is a multiplication. When it come to this side, it will become division. This is f is equals to r divided by 2. Okay. So here the principal focus we can define like this: the principal focus or a focus point, principal focus of a spherical mirror, principal focus of a spherical mirror lies, where it lies? At midway or midpoint, midway or midpoint between the pole and the center of curvature. Clear? That is between P and C. P and C. Clear so far? So, this is the basic concept and important terms which are very important. Now we will try to understand what exactly mean by the image formation, or the exactly how the image will be formed in a spherical mirror. Where exactly will form means where the rays will get converged or where the rays will get diverged and focused to a particular point. Now, where it will be that focus point, we have to come to know. Once we will know this one, then easily we can judge that for any mirror where will be the object, how it will be placed, whether it is a virtual, erect, okay, or inverted. Okay, we can easily come to know. First we will see what is image formation. Now we are trying to understand image formation by spherical mirrors, image formation by spherical mirrors. Okay. So, how we will get this? We will get by drawing ray diagrams. Okay, we will get this by drawing a ray diagrams. Okay. So, if we know how to draw the ray diagrams, then it is easy to locate the image formation, where exactly the image will be formed. Okay. Now, so we understood that how the image will be formed by a plane mirror. Okay, that we have understood, that whatever the plane mirror sense in our home, right, we will be having one mirror, okay, fitted to a wall. If you stand in front of this wall, in front of your stone, it looks that the image is formed as much as distance from you to the mirror is at the same distance from the mirror to that object. Okay, at the same distance, we cannot feel that the image is formed on the mirror. Okay, it is sticking to the mirror. We cannot feel, right? We are not feeling like that, right? The image is formed here. It looks that whatever the distance from me to that mirror, the same distance from mirror to that image formed, that is formed behind the mirror. Okay, right? We feel that is formed behind this particular mirror at the same distance where exactly the object is placed. Clear now? And how it looks? How it looks? It is appear to be formed behind the mirror first, behind the screen or behind the mirror. Second, it is virtual. That's why we call it as a virtual. Why it is called as a virtual? We are feeling that when we call the image is formed like a virtual, whenever we are feeling that the image is formed behind the screen, when the image is formed behind the screen, then those type of images we call it as the virtual images, and it is erect. The position of this is erect. Erect in the sense upright. Upright in the sense whatever the height of the object is there, we feel that same height. Okay, we are feeling at a same, whatever the size of the object is there, same object image will be formed virtually. Virtual in the sense behind the screen. That is the concept. Whenever we are using that, the image formed by a plane mirrors is virtual and erect. So you have to understand that this object image is formed behind the screen first. Second is it is upright. So the way we are standing, it looks in the same way and the same size. We cannot see that if we are standing in front of mirror instead of erect. Okay, will it looks like this in a inverted form? No, no, it is not looks like that, it is inverted. Okay, so it looks that it is upright, it is not looking like this, right? It is not look like this. Okay, this is right? So that's we call it as the erect position. Okay, now in order to understand the image formed by a spherical mirrors, first you have to understand some of the basic rules which are very important. First understand those basic rules, then we can easily understand the image formation by spherical mirrors. Okay, first we will see in this today's class what are the basic rules for drawing a ray diagrams. Rules to or rules for drawing ray diagrams. So in order to understand how the image will be formed, for that we have to understand the ray diagram. Okay, first we have to come to know how to draw the ray diagrams. In order to know the ray diagrams, first we have to understand the certain basic rules. Before drawing the ray diagrams, first we have to understand the what are the basic rules behind these ray diagrams. Okay, we will see that one. First we will see in first case for a concave mirrors. In concave mirrors, what are the rules? First rule, what the first rule we will say? Rule number 1. Okay, rule number 1. See, try to write down, okay, along with me while writing, because I am moving little bit slower. Each very point is very important. You can pause the video and you write down. Okay, if it is streaming live, after the completion of a live session, again the video will be exist in that only. Okay, then whenever you want, you can watch one more time or 2 times. Okay, so that will become perfect. Okay guys, see now what is the first rule? What first rule will say? An incident ray parallel to the principal axis, then suppose if the ray is incidenting parallel to the principal axis, then the reflected ray always, what will happen? It passes through the focus. Okay, first I will write down the definition, then we will try to draw the ray diagram. Okay, an incident ray, rule number 1, an incident ray parallel to what? Parallel to the principal axis, parallel to principal axis, then what will happen? Then the ray reflected or the reflected ray always passes through, where it will passing? It is passes through the focus or principal focus point. Okay, now we will draw the ray diagram. So this is for a concave mirror, right? Concave mirror is the mirror in which the reflecting surface is bent inwards. So outer surface is polished, right? So this is the reflecting surface, okay, this is the polished surface. Here will be the principal axis, this is the point P, pole, this is the radius of curvature, this is principal focus. If a ray, what rule says? If a ray parallel to the principal axis falling on this mirror, how it will get reflected? It will reflected to focus. So, it is reflecting back to the focus. So, that reflected ray passes through this focus point. Clear? This is the incident ray, this is the reflected ray. Usually we no need to draw the normal. So, normal, as I told, it is always passes through center of curvature. Clear now? So, this angle is equals to this angle, this is incident, this is the reflected angle, this is the incident ray, this is the reflected ray. Okay. So, this is called as a ray diagram for a rule number 1. It is clear now? Suppose if I am drawing one more ray which is incidenting on this particular surface, that is reflecting surface of a concave mirror, which is parallel to the principal axis, incidenting on point B, it is get reflected back and passing through this focus. Here the image will be formed. This is incidenting, this is reflecting ray. Okay. So, here to here the distance we call it as the focal length. Clear now? We will go to rule number 2. Okay. We will go to rule number 2 now. What rule number 2 will say? Rule number 2. So, rule number 2 will say that if an incident ray is passes through the focus, in a second case, if it is a passes through focus, what will happen? It is a vice versa with this concept. If it is passes parallel to the principal axis, it is passing through the focus. If incident ray is passing through this focus, what will happen? Then the reflected ray is parallel to the principal axis, right? Okay. Okay. Rule number 2, what will say? If an incident ray is passes through the focus, if incident ray is passes through the focus, then the reflected ray, is, how it will be, is parallel to the principal axis. It is parallel to the principal axis. Okay. Now, we will try to draw the ray diagram for this. This is the surface, that is the concave surface, right? This is the principal axis, this is the center of curvature, this is the focus point, and this is the pole. Here the incident ray, it is passing through the focus, right? It is passing through the focus and it is pointed at point O. It is pointed at point A. Again, what will happen? This is the incident ray, it has to get reflected, right? How it will get reflected? It will get reflected parallel to this point axis, to principal axis, parallel to the principal axis it will get reflected. So, parallel to the principal axis, this is the reflected. Here will be the normal which is incidenting on point C. Clear now? Okay. I will draw one more line. See, this is a one more line passes through the focus and hitting point B. So, it will get reflected, right? It will get reflected and it is reflecting back towards back, that is parallel to this principal axis. This is the second rule. Okay. This is the way how you have to draw the ray diagrams. Okay. There is a third rule, one more rule. What the rule says? The third rule, rule number 3. Rule number 3. Okay. Suppose, imagine if an incident ray passes through the center of curvature, what will happen? Passes through the center of curvature. Then what about the reflected ray? The reflected ray always, what will do? Always follow the same path as incident ray. Okay. How? See, you observe clearly, try to understand this one. It is a very easy concept. Try to understand this one. This is a concave mirror and this is a parallel principal axis. We know this is the center of curvature, this is the focus point, this is the pole point. What I told, if a ray is passing through this center of curvature and it is hitting on the surface. Clear? This is the incident ray, right? This is the incident ray. Whatever the ray which passes through the center point, it has to get reflected back. Okay. How it will get reflected back? If you take a normal plane mirror, how it will, plane surface, there is a point, suppose an incident ray is falling on this particular point. How it will get reflected back? Always it will get reflected back with according to the normal drawn to this particular point. Imagine this is the point, here I have drawn a normal. Normal in the sense what? Normal, just simply imagine that a perpendicular line to that point is called as a normal. Okay. So this is the normal which is perpendicular to this point. Now this incident ray will always, we say it is making a certain angle with respect to the normal. We are not saying anything about the angle made by the incident ray with respect to the surface. We are not saying anywhere. We are saying whatever the angle made with the normal by the incident ray is always equal to the angle made by the reflected ray with the normal. Right now, so what we are saying, we are talking about the normal ray only. This is the normal line, right? We are talking only about this one, right? This is the angle of incident, this is the angle of reflection, both are equal. Now, whenever you come here, whatever the lines we are drawing from a center of curvature, in a previous rules also I told, whatever the lines we are drawing from a center of curvature to the surface or aperture, what we call, whenever we are drawing these lines are at a perpendicular to those points. If I am drawing at, imagine we are drawing a lines at a point P, Q or S, wherever we draw, these lines always are perpendicular to that particular point. Now incident ray is on the same line, right, and the normal is also on the same line. Here a normal is also exist on that line itself. Now what will happen? The incident ray, if it is here and the normal is here, we can say that there is an angle. If both are placing on one point, one line, so then there is no angle of incident, right? This angle, suppose this is theta, this angle become here, what will become? It will become theta is equals to 0. Then once if it is become 0, what the concept of the reflecting ray says, incident angle is always equal to reflected angle. Again here what will happen? The ray going back also, it has to make the same angle here, that is the 0 degree angle. Hence whatever the incident ray is there, it will follow the same path as the incident ray. So it is coming back in the same path because there is no angle, there is a 0 degree angle, so it is coming back. So this is a reflecting ray. So if you understand clearly this one, it's very simple. Okay, why the line or ray passing through the center of curvature, it will get reflected back in the same path. Clear? Okay. Now, next we will see rule number 4. Okay, we will see the next rule. What the next rule will say? It is common for both convex and concave. This rule is a common rule, very simple. If it is ray is incidenting to a particular point, it will follow the law of reflection. Okay, means suppose if any point it is falling incidenting obliquely at a certain angle, obliquely means at a certain angle, it will follow the concept of principal law of reflection, that is the incident angle is equal to the reflect angle. That is not important, we have to concentrate on rule number 1 to 3, that is most important, rule 1 to 3. Okay. So, same rules we will see now in case of a diverging mirrors or convex mirrors. Okay. In convex mirrors again same. Here what will happen, we are using the words appears to be. Why? Because it is not directly diverted to that point, because it is going away from the surface, right. Here rule number 1 what will say, first write down the definition so that it will be easy to you in these cases. A ray parallel to the principal axis, then a reflected ray, here we have to add one word, that is appears to be diverged from the principal focus. It is appears to be diverged from the principal focus. Okay. How we can draw the ray diagram for that? Imagine here it is a convex surface, this is the polished, right. At this time this is polished because it has bent outward, this is the reflecting surface. Clear? Now, where will be the center of curvature? Center of curvature is behind the reflecting surface, right. This is the P and this is the center of curvature. Clear now? Now, if a ray is incidenting parallel to principal axis, okay, this is the principal axis, right. So, for this principal axis, imagine it is a line which is parallel to the principal axis, it is hitting here, from this side it is hitting here. So, there is a normal which is passing through this point C, it is moving like this. Okay. So, normal again it is moving like this. Now, where will be the reflected ray? So, reflected ray, it is moving like this, right, it is getting diverged, that was we call it as the diverging mirrors also. So, this reflected ray, it is appears to be, that is why we have used word appears. Why? Means if we extend the line, if you retrace this line beyond from this point, okay, it is focusing to this point, this is we call it as the focus point F. What we call this is we call it as the F, it is focused here, okay, at this point. So, the actually rays are get reflected back, but it is appears to be diverged from the principal focus. How it will appears? The rays are going away from this particular point. So, this is the source point, it is appears to be this is the source point, from this point the rays are going away. Are you getting my point? So, this is the first rule. Second rule, what the second rule will say? Rule number 2 say, if the ray, it is a vice versa as in case of concave mirrors what we have seen. Rule number 2, how it will define? If a ray appears to be, if a ray appears to be passing through, if a ray appears to be passing through what? Passing through, or it is directed towards F, that is the focus. Okay, passes through F of a which mirror? We are talking about convex mirror, right? We are talking about the convex mirror. After reflected, the reflected ray will emerge. How it will emerge back? Parallel to principal axis. How it will emerge? It will emerge parallel to the principal axis. Okay. Now we will draw a ray diagram for this. This is the convex surface and here is the principal focus. So, principal axis. On this principal axis, this is the point P, this is the focus point and this is the center of curvature. Okay. The center of curvature is placed behind the or back side of the reflecting surface. Imagine that there is a incidenting ray, it is appears to be directed towards, suppose incident ray is coming towards the point F, this is incident ray this time, right. So, it is appears to be focusing on this point. Again from this side we are incidenting a ray which is incidenting at a point B, imagine, and it is appears to be incidenting on this point F. Okay. In this case, when the rays are appears to be directed towards this point F, the reflected ray, it will get emitted, that reflected ray, it will emerge parallel to the principal axis. It will emerge parallel to the principal axis. It is moving like this. Okay. It is moving like this. This is the reflected ray. This is the reflected ray. Clear now? This is the second concept or second rule. The third most rule. What is the third rule says? When a ray is passes through the what? Center of curvature, right? Na? Rule number 3, what we seen in case of concave mirror, the same rules. Third rule, what will say? If a ray directed in the direction of center of curvature, or we can say that if a ray is pointed towards the center of curvature, we can define like that also. Okay. Of which mirror? Of a convex mirror or divergent mirror. Okay. After reflection, the reflected ray is, how it will be reflected back? It is reflected back along the, how? Along the same path, right? Along the same path, because here also the angle of incident is become 0, therefore the angle of reflection is become 0, then it will follow the same path. So, now try to draw a ray diagram for that. This is the convex mirror. Okay. Principal axis, this is the point P, this is the focus point and this is the center of curvature. Now, the incident ray is focusing towards the center of curvature. Okay. It is appears to be focused on the or directed to the center of curvature. It is directed to the center of curvature. When it is directed to the center of curvature, what will happen? Because it is passes through this radius of curvature line, therefore the angle of incident become 0, hence the angle of reflected will become 0. Okay, hence whatever the ray incident on this particular point towards focusing towards center of curvature, it will reflected back in the same path, again it is going back in a same path as the incident ray. So it is moving back. This is the incident, this is the reflected ray, this is reflected ray. Here also it is reflecting back, or it is moving back in a same path. This is the reflected, and this arrow mark is for incident ray. Okay, these are the basic rules you should know while drawing the ray diagrams. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. If you not understand any part of the video, just go back to that particular part and rewind once, okay, so that you will come to know topic very clearly. Okay, in our next class we will stop our sessions today. In our next class we will see the exact image formation through this ray diagram by the spherical mirrors. Okay, by both concave mirror and convex mirror. Okay guys, I hope you understood. Thank you.